Hello, if you want to watch exclusive lemon content on What If Naruto, then go to my Boosty. The first link in the description here contains such hot stories for adults, such as What If Naruto was a daddy for Sarada, or Kushina and Mikoto vulgar Naruto mommies. Follow the link and enjoy. I'm waiting for you.
Godzilla's point of view. I had just finished destroying my enemy, Megavirus. Then I felt something lift me up. As I was looking up at the sky, I saw a black dot heading towards me. When it hit me, I saw nothing but darkness, even though I was awake. The next thing I knew, I was in a forest with another big creature attacking some kind of city. The creature noticed me and sent its 9 tails towards me. I pushed them away with my claws and prepared to fire my ray gun. He jumped out of the way and jumped towards me. I hit her with my tail, throwing her to the nearby cliff. When she got up, I hit her on the head with my lightning bolt. While I was dazed, I reached out to her and grabbed her. Then I started to turn his head. A sickening creaking sound was heard, but he was still alive, so I put her on the ground and pressed my foot on her back. I pushed hard until I felt his back break under the pressure of my foot. Then I turned towards the small town and start walking towards it. This city is very different from the ones I have found. It has some very strange humans because they don't attack me with tanks or weapons anymore being. Instead, they attack me head-on with strange weapons. I quickly hit them with my tail. Suddenly, I hear someone shouting something, and an earthen wall hits my legs. Another uses fire on my torso. This goes on for a few minutes until I get tired of crushing them with my tail. Before I reach the city, another large creature with a human on it attacks me head-on. I hear the human say something. There was a bright light, and I saw the human fall from the creature. Then they put me in a big cage on an empty plain. I tried to open the cage, but no matter how much damage I inflicted on it, it was repaired. After a while, I just stopped and started waiting for what I do not know, but something told me that this was the beginning of an adventure. Chapter 2. It was the graduation day at Naruto Academy. Next up is Naruto, Iruka said. Naruto got up and entered the test room. Please make bunsons, Iruka said. Then Naruto made the proper hand seals and then said, Bunsen no Hisutu. There was a cloud of smoke, and then 3 sickly bunsons were left lying on the ground. Naruto, you failed. Iruka shouted. Come on Iruka, he created the bunsons, Mizuki, the other teacher, said. I'm sorry Naruto, but you'll have to do better, Iruka said. A few minutes later. Hey Naruto, Mizuki said. What's the matter, Mizuki-sensei? Naruto asked. I want you to come with me. We have something to talk about, Mizuki said. What's up, Naruto? Mizuki asked. It's nothing, but I really wanted to graduate, Naruto said. I know, but Iruka thinks he's helping you, Mizuki said. But what does it help to fail at? Naruto asked. You see, Iruka is also an orphan, and by failing, he wants you to train harder, but I know a way you can graduate, Mizuki said. In the house of the Hokage. Naruto, what are you doing here? Asked the Hokage. You know what happens next. Later in the forest. Aha, I found you, Iruka said. You found me pretty quickly, sensei, Naruto said. I had only learned one technique. You mean you've been training all this time? Iruka asked. Yes. Naruto said. Hey, Naruto, what's that scroll on your back? Iruka asked. Oh, this Mizuki-sensei told me about it, Naruto said. If I could learn one technique from this scroll, would you let me graduate? Mizuki, Iruka said. Suddenly, Iruka received a volley from kunai. He became pinned against the side of the shed in the clearing. Do you know why the whole village hates you, Naruto? Mizuki asked. Mizuki, shut up, Iruka shouted. It's because you're the container of the creature that killed the 9-tailed fox, Mizuki said. What? Naruto said. Now die, you demonic scum. Mizuki shouted as she threw a large shuriken at Naruto. A loud bang was heard all over the clearing. Naruto looked up and saw Iruka in front of him with the shuriken on his back. Naruto takes the scroll and leaves. Mizuki shouldn't put her hands on him. And with that, Naruto ran off. No matter where you go from, I will find Naruto, Mizuki said. in Naruto's head for a moment. I'm a container of the demon that killed Kyuubi. No wonder they hate me. Out of Naruto's head. Where is Naruto? Mizuki said, looking for Naruto. Naruto, who was behind a tree, started running until Mizuki appeared in front of him and kicked him in the stomach. As he stopped, Iruka punched him in the face. Mizuki then punched him in the stomach and kicked him in the back. Afterwards, Mizuki smashed Iruka's head into a tree, knocking him unconscious. Iruka! Naruto shouted. Now it's time to kill you, my little friend, Mizuki said. Suddenly, Naruto felt a wave of anger wash over him, and then he screamed, Kajiban Sin no Jisutu. And suddenly, there were 1,000 Narutos in the clearing. It's time for you to go to sleep, Mizuki. Naruto shouted. Iruka woke up just as Naruto was doing the Husutu. For the next few minutes, Mizuki lay in a pool of blood. Oops. Naruto said timidly. Hey Naruto, come here, Iruka said. What is it, sensei? Iruka said. Close your eyes, Iruka said. Now open them. Congratulations, graduate. Thank you, sensei. Naruto said as he jumped on Iruka. Get off of there, Naruto, that hurts me, Iruka said. Report to the academy tomorrow to pick up your new sensei, Iruka said. Chapter 3. Later that night at Naruto's house. Man, what a night, Naruto said. I'm going to be able to beat a teacher and graduate from the academy. I'm a ninja, but I guess finding out that there's some kind of sealed creature in your stomach depresses you, Naruto said. Inside the seal. Ah, it looks like my container knows about my existence, Godzilla said. I think we should talk tonight. A few minutes later, Naruto is fast asleep. In Naruto's dream. Hey, why am I in a sewer? Naruto asked himself. When he started exploring, he found a hole in a wall, and when he went through it, he saw a giant cage. Well, but he is my jailer, Godzilla said. Let me guess, you are the creature inside of me, Naruto said. Wow, you're smart. Godzilla said with obvious sarcasm. What do you want from me? Naruto asked. I want to make a deal with you, Godzilla said. What kind of deal? Naruto asked, intrigued. I will give you some of my power and the ability to transform into a creature like me, Godzilla said. And what do you want in return? Naruto asked. I want to feel, smell and taste again, Godzilla said. I'll be able to use your senses for mine. Sounds fair, we both get what we want, Naruto said. But there is a condition to use my power. It should be to defend the people and not to massacre them, Godzilla said. Why would a demon care about anything more than himself? Naruto asked. I'm not a demon child, but I care about the way things are, Godzilla said. Okay, I guess that concludes the matter, right? Naruto said. Yes, that will be all for tonight, Godzilla said as he started to disappear. Then, Naruto woke up. Shit, was I dreaming it all up? Naruto asked himself. No, you weren't, boy, Godzilla said. Where the hell are you? Naruto said as he looked around. I'm inside your mind, boy, Godzilla said. You could stop calling me boy. Naruto shouted. So, what's your name? Godzilla asked. Naruto, what is yours? May I ask? Naruto asked. My name is Godzilla, puppy, said Godzilla. How can you talk to me if that wasn't part of the deal? Naruto shouted. I just want to know what's going to happen, Godzilla said. Okay, I guess I'll get ready to go to the meeting and see who I get to, Naruto said as he walked towards the shower. Chapter 4. Naruto was walking down the road to the academy when Godzilla started talking. Hey, puppy. Godzilla said. What do you want, reptile? Naruto said. You have someone following you, Godzilla said. You're probably Asuke, Naruto said. I couldn't tell if it was him, I'm still getting used to his smells, Godzilla said. Okay, I'll talk to you later, flake face, Naruto said as he continued walking down the path. At that moment, Hinata jumped out of a tree. Ugh, I think he almost saw me, Hinata said. A while later, Naruto arrives at his classroom and sits in the back. Naruto. What are you doing here? This is for graduates only, Kiba said. What? Can't you see the headband? Naruto said. Excuse me, could you move? Someone asked. Naruto turned to look, and to his surprise, he saw Sakura as his crush. Move over, I want to sit with Sasuke. Sakura shouted. He then slammed Naruto's head on the desk and jumped over him to the next seat. Easy, puppy, don't get too angry, or you'll turn into a creature, Godzilla said. It's okay, flaky face. Naruto said. Hello class. Iruka said without anyone paying attention to him except Naruto. Shut up, you little ingrates. Iruka said. Everyone quickly fell silent. Okay, let's get started, Iruka said. You know what happens. Team 7 will consist of Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. Iruka said. All right, the rest of you go to your rooms and wait for your sensei, Iruka said. 3 hours later. Where the hell is he? Naruto shouted. This sensei of yours is quite late, Godzilla said. No, really. Naruto said. Just then, the door opened and a head popped out. You must be my new team, he said. Meet me on the roof. A few minutes later, on the roof. Okay, tell me about yourself, he said. How, sensei? He said. Sakura said. You know, your tastes, dreams, and hobbies, he said. Why don't you go first, sensei? Naruto said. It's okay, my name is Kakashi. My dreams are none of your business, but I have a lot of hobbies, Kakashi said. He said a lot, but we just knew. Her name, Sakura said. Okay, Littlefinger, you're first, Kakashi said. My name is Sakura, not Pinky. Well, I like Sasuke, and I hate Naruto, he said. Well, I don't love you so much anymore, Littlefinger, Naruto said. Sakura and Sasuke looked at him in surprise. He never spoke badly about Sakura. It's okay, blonde boy, it's your turn, Kakashi said. My name is Naruto, stupid scarecrow. I like training and ramen. I don't like it, Sasuke reptiles, pink-haired idiots. Naruto said. Hey, Godzilla shouted. And finally, the melancholy one. He said. You know my name? There are a lot of things I like, and a lot of things I don't like, but I'm not going to tell you. Sasuke said. It's okay, my first impression is that I hate them all, Kakashi said. Now I'll see you at training camp 7 tomorrow at 8, Kakashi said. Why, sensei? Naruto asked. Because I'm going to test them so they can become genis, Kakashi said. What? I thought we had already passed, Naruto said. No, only 9 of this year's students will become genins, Kakashi said. Oh, and don't have breakfast if you want to throw up, Kakashi said before leaving. Well, I'm leaving, Naruto said. Wait, what's the matter with you, Tobe? Are you different today? Sasuke asked. I don't think that's any of your business, Naruto said as he walked away. What's your problem? Sakura asked. No idea, Sasuke said as he walked home. Chapter 5. Hey, you better give up, Godzilla said. Never. Naruto said. I've never lost a poker game, Godzilla said as he tossed 2 chips on the table. Aha, a good hand, Naruto said. Well, let's see about it, Godzilla said as he laid his cards on the table. I have a straight flush, what do you have? Naruto asked. I have a royal flush, Godzilla said as he grabbed the stack of chips. Looks like I won again, puppy, Godzilla said. By the way, you have to wake up now or you'll be late. Oh my god. You're right, Naruto said as he woke up. A few minutes later, we were dressed and out the door towards training camp 7. Hello Littlefinger, Naruto said. Hello fear. Take that back right now. Sakura shouted. Shut up. I'm sick of hearing you flatter Sasuke like a deer after a lick of salt, Naruto said. What's the matter with you, Tobe? Sasuke asked. It's okay, I just have a new perception of life, Naruto said. 3 hours later. Okay, I'm sorry for being late. You see, this old lady fell down a hole, and the S-class ninjas took her cat, so I had to get it back, Kakashi said. Liar! Sakura shouted. If you're late again, I'll rip your heart out and feed it to the snakes, Naruto said, causing everyone to look at him with a surprised reaction. Okay, let's start the test, Kakashi said as he finished an alarm clock. This is scheduled to go off at noon. If you don't get a bell from me before noon, you will fail and be sent back to the academy, Kakashi said. Let's get started, Kakashi said. Then they all took off in different directions. Hey, puppy, you don't want to fight this guy head-on, Godzilla said, at least not yet. Okay, what do you want me to do? Naruto asked. Go get the other two to help you, Godzilla said. Why should I let them help me? Naruto asked. Because that's the meaning of this test, Godzilla said. Then Naruto went to find Sakura and Sasuke. What do you want, Tobe? Sasuke asked. We have to work together to get the bells, Naruto said. And why should we help you? Sakura asked. Because you'll be helping yourself in the process, Naruto said. Well, what do you want us to do? Sakura asked. The planning continued for a few minutes. It's okay, everyone knows their parts, Naruto said. Sasuke and Sakura nodded. Okay, let's go, Naruto said as he took off. Mom, where are they? Kakashi said. Just then Sasuke appeared and punched Kakashi in the stomach. Naruto kicked him in the back, but Kakashi grabbed his foot and threw it at Sasuke. Sasuke and Naruto threw some kunyas at Kakashi, but he turned away. Naruto created 3 bunsons and sent them after Kakashi. The bunsons grabbed his legs and chest, holding him down. Kakashi tried to hit them, but he couldn't reach them. Now Sakura. Bring the bells, Naruto said. Sakura jumped out of the tree and ran towards Kakashi. Kakashi saw her, but he couldn't move because of the bunsons. Without much effort, he grabbed the bells from Kakashi's belt. Naruto cancelled his bunsons and headed for the stumps. It's okay, everyone passes, Kakashi said. Good job, puppy, Godzilla said. See you tomorrow at Okage Tower for your first mission, Kakashi said as he walked away. Well, I'll see you guys later, Naruto said. After Naruto disappeared from sight, he went to training camp number 8. Okay, Flake Face, how do I do that technique? Naruto asked. Imagine that you look like me, said Godzilla, and just so you know that it will be painful when you do this. Great, Naruto said and did as he was told. A second later, the training ground was filled with Naruto's screams of agony. Slowly he began to shift on his feet. He grew thorns on his back and tail. His hands became claws. At least until it was a perfect replica of Godzilla, only smaller. Just so you know, he looks like the Godzilla from the final war. This is great, Naruto said looking at his new body. Try to hit something, Godzilla said. Naruto approached the doll and punched him. To his surprise, the doll flew out a few meters back. Fine, Naruto said. Now try to gather chakra in your mouth, said Godzilla. When Naruto did so, a blue orb began to form in his mouth, and when he stopped, it shot out of his mouth and formed a current decimating everything in its path. Great, Naruto said. Well, that's enough training for today, puppy, Godzilla said. Then Naruto returned to his human form and walked to his apartment. Chapter 6. Hey puppy, when are you going to leave? Godzilla asked. In a few minutes, face of scales, Naruto said. Good, because I want you to kill something, Godzilla said. Great, I have a bloodthirsty lizard in my head, Naruto said. Well, what did you expect? I've been here for 12 years with nothing to do but insult you, Godzilla said. You're right, Flake Face, Naruto said as he considered Godzilla's words. Yes, I do, I'm leaving now, Godzilla said. A few minutes later, Naruto was standing outside the tower, waiting for the rest of his team to arrive. Hello, Fear, Naruto said as Sasuke approached. Hey, Tobe. Sasuke said. So, what kind of mission will they give us? Naruto asked. I don't know. Sasuke said. Then, the conversation stopped for a while until Sakura finally appeared. It was another hour before Kakashi appeared through the tower. Naruto quickly approached Kakashi and punched him in the stomach. Sasuke and Sakura just stared at him while Kakashi tried to catch his breath. I told you not to be late again, Naruto said. It's okay, I won't be late again, Kakashi said. Now let's complete our mission and let's go. Finally, Sasuke said as they entered the tower. Okay, Team 7, your mission will be to protect a bridge builder until he completes his newest bridge, the third one said. What did you expect these brats to protect me? Tazuna said as she took a swig from a serving bottle. Before he could take another drink, he was thrown against the wall with a cot and on his neck. Insult me again, and I will slit your throat, Naruto said. Naruto took the customer down. Kakashi ordered. That's fine, but you'd better watch what you say, Naruto said. It's okay. I'll meet you at the east gate in an hour, Kakashi said, before disappearing into the night. Cloud of smoke. Well, I'll see you guys later, Naruto said. Where are you going? Sasuke asked. To go get ready for the mission, Naruto said. A while later, Team 7 was waiting for Kakashi so they could start. Okay, let's go, Kakashi said. It's about time. Naruto said as the doors started to open. So, how long until we reach the land of waves, Sensei? Sakura asked. At this rate, it will be 2 days, Kakashi said. That will be too long, Naruto said. Yes, but Tazuna can't run as fast as we can, Naruto, Kakashi said. As they continued walking, 2 puddles appeared. Hey puppy, those puddles are weird, Godzilla said. How is that? Naruto asked. It hasn't rained in days, so there would be no puddles around, Godzilla said. You're right, it's probably 2 ninjas in one genjutsu, Naruto said. Have fun, puppy, Godzilla said as he started to laugh. Naruto quickly. He pulled out 2 kunai and smashed them into the puddles. A second later, the puddles turned red. As he removed them, the kunai of his team simply looked at him. What? Naruto asked. How did you know there were 2 ninjas there? Kakashi asked. It was pretty obvious, Sensei. There are 2 puddles even though it hasn't rained in days, Naruto said. Hey, Godzilla said. Well, Tazuna, would you like to tell us why there are ninjas behind you? Kakashi asked. After a long explanation about the economy of the wave country, controlled by a man named Gato, and that if he was killed, the wave country would be ruined. Basically, if you die, the land of waves dies, Naruto said. Yes. Tazuna said. Good, because I'm ready for a challenge. Naruto said. Everyone, once again, stood staring at him. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry, Naruto said as he finished a box of bento. Yes, let's have lunch, Kakashi said as he joined Naruto. Sasuke simply let out a groan of disbelief. Great, I will never get rid of my people, Sasuke said as he sat down. Chapter 7. Hey, flaky face. Naruto said. What do you want, puppy? Godzilla said. What was your life like before you were sealed in me? Naruto asked. Why do you want to know about my life? Godzilla asked in an interrogative tone. I think we should know about each other since we're stuck together, Naruto said. Well, not to brag, but I was king since I came, Godzilla said gloating. King of what? Naruto asked, intrigued by Godzilla's words. Of the monsters, Godzilla said, I earned the title when I defeated all the monsters in the world. So, did you kill them? Naruto asked. During the title fight, no, but when others challenged me and didn't want to give up, I had to, Godzilla said sadly. Wow, you're fine for a monster, Naruto said cheerfully. Same here, puppy, said Godzilla. You could stop calling me that, Naruto shouted angrily. No. Godzilla smiled at his reaction. I'll talk to you later, flake face. Naruto said as he came out of his trance. What were you doing, Tobe? Sasuke asked. Not that it's any of your business, but I was meditating on you, Naruto lashed out. Well, sorry for asking, Sasuke said sarcastically. Yes, you should be, Naruto said darkly. Naruto, I'm sick of your attitude. You better start respecting Sasuke, Sakura said angrily. Well, I don't care if he's the last Uchiha, Naruto said bitterly, he's just an idiot to me. You're right for once, puppy, Godzilla said. At least you agree with me, Naruto said cheerfully. Come on guys, we have to go, Kakashi said. Yes, let's go, Tazuna said. A while later, they were following the path. Hey puppy, there's someone watching you, Godzilla said. Seriously, I think I'll have to meet him, Naruto said wickedly. Just be careful, I don't want to die now, puppy, said Godzilla fearing that Naruto would do some stupid thing. A sudden sound from the nearby forest alerted Naruto, and he said, everyone get down. As they fell to the ground, a giant sword flew past their heads and embedded itself in a tree. A ninja quickly appeared on the sword hilt. I forgot the name of Zabuza's sword. Well, but if it's the copycat ninja, the ninja said. You are the demon of the mist, Zabuza, Kakashi said as he lifted his mask. Ah, to face the Sharingan so early in the battle, it is an honor, Zabuza said menacingly. Shall we start our fight, Zabuza? Kakashi asked. Yes, let's get started, Zabuza said as she pulled the sword out of the tree. Zabuza ran towards Kakashi and tried to cut him in half. Kakashi bent down and kicked him in the stomach. Zabuza gave him a circular kick to the face. Zabuza picked up Kakashi and threw him against a tree. As he got up, Kakashi threw 2 shurikens and shouted, "The art of the shadow shuriken." And the 2 shurikens were multiplied by 30. Zabuza quickly dodged the shuriken, but Kakashi punched him back in the face. Upon recovering, Kakashi kicked him in the back and tried to grab him. But Zabuza turned away and threw a downward slash with his sword, trying to cut off his arm. Kakashi deflected him with a cradle and put an explosive note on his sword before jumping. With a bang, Zabuza's sword exploded in oil. My sword! Zabuza shouted angrily. Well, these things happen when you are a child, Zabuza, Kakashi said softly. I'll kill you, Zabuza never finished the statement he was about to make when 2 needles in bond stuck in his neck. While everyone was watching in disbelief, a ninja hunter jumped out of the trees. Thanks for distracting him, the masked ninja said in a monotone voice. You're welcome, ninja hunter of the mist, Kakashi said. Then the ninja hunter left with Zabuza's corpse. There was silence until Naruto said, Well, I'm hungry. They all fell to the ground like they were anim. Yes, we should all go to Tezuna's house to rest, Kakashi said before fainting. Now we have to take him there, Naruto said in a complaining voice. Just stay quiet and help us get him off the ground, Sasuke said. You should help them give birth, Godzilla said. Why is that? Naruto asked bluntly. It's better to have people who love you than people who hate you, Godzilla said. Yeah, I guess you're right, Naruto said as he walked over to pick up Kakashi. Once they arrived at Tezuna's house, they put Kakashi in the guest room and waited for him to wake up. Hey, do you want to see Kakashi's face? Naruto asked. Why did I want to see our sensei's face? Sasuke asked. Oh, come on, look at him, don't you want to know what he's like? Naruto said, trying to convince him to join. All right, let's see how it is, Sasuke said as Naruto took his mask. A hand quickly grabbed Naruto as he fell back surprised. It is not polite to look at what one should not see, Kakashi said. So, how do you feel after fighting the big fog demon, sensei? Sakura asked. That's silly, but I feel like I'm forgetting something, Kakashi said worriedly. What would you forget that is so important? Naruto asked. Oh wow, that ninja hunter was working on Zabuza, Kakashi said. As he said this, Tazuna spat out his drink, and everyone else just stared at him. How do you know that? Naruto asked. Because hunter ninjas are supposed to destroy the body on the spot, Kakashi said. With Zabuza and the ninja hunter. I guess I should wake him up now, the ninja said as he slapped Zabuza's neck with his hand. Did you have to hit so hard, Aku? Zabuza asked. I did it to wake you up, Aku said. Take off that mask, it brings back a lot of memories. Ordered Zabuza. Yes, sir. Aku said. Well, I think we should go back to the base. Zabuza said. Yes, sir. Aku said as he dragged Zabuza to the base. Alas! Zabuza said as a stone hit his head. Chapter 8. After the battle with Zabuza, Kakashi told us to meet him outside Tazuna's house. What do you want, sensei? Naruto asked in a bored tone. I'm already making it, Naruto, Kakashi said nervously. Hurry up, I want to go back to sleep, Naruto said cryptically, angry that he had been woken up by a bucket of water. We're going to climb trees, Kakashi said. Everyone gasped. What are we going to do? Naruto said with an inquisitive tone. Climb trees, but the interesting thing is that you can't use your hands, Kakashi said, hoping Naruto wouldn't hurt him. You're safe, Kakashi, for now, Naruto said before starting to laugh. Everyone took a step away from him. Okay, let's get started. The way to achieve this is to accumulate chakra in the feet, Kakashi said as he walked towards a tree. When he arrived, he continued climbing until he reached the top. Great? That's all, Naruto said. But there is a problem, you cannot collect too little or too much chakra, Kakashi said, otherwise you will not keep or fly. This should be simple, Naruto thought. Don't be so sure, puppy, Godzilla said. When did you wake up? Naruto asked. When your sensei started talking, Godzilla said. I bet Sasuke won't even be able to set foot in the tree, Naruto said while sneaking a giggle. He'll probably put too much chakra in his foot, Godzilla said. Naruto? Kakashi asked as he poked his head out. Huh? What? Naruto said. What happened to you, Tobe? Sasuke asked. Nothing, I was just mired in my thoughts, Naruto said innocently. Well, you can start whenever you're ready, if you need me I'll be there, Kakashi said as he finished his book. Pervert? Naruto thought. Yes, Godzilla said. Then they all ran to their own trees. Naruto reached the halfway point before losing his concentration. Sasuke put too much strength on his feet and flew out. Sakura reached the top of her tree on the first attempt. Wow, this is easier than I thought, Sakura said leaning on the top branch. In Sasuke's mind. How the hell did he beat me there? Sasuke shouted. Out of Sasuke's mind. Good job, Sakura. Naruto said. Are you congratulating someone? Godzilla said, surprised by Naruto. And if I am, Naruto thought. Thank you, Naruto, Sakura said. You're welcome, now if you'll excuse me I still have work to do, Naruto said, as he ran towards the tree. However, Naruto forgot to put chakra on his feet, and just crashed into the tree. Alas. That was all Naruto said as he slid to the ground. Kakashi finally looked up from the book, and saw Naruto lying on the ground. She sighed and walked over to him. What happened to Naruto? Have you finished climbing your tree yet? Kakashi asked. Yes, and Naruto forgot to put chakra on his feet this time, Sakura said looking at him. When Kakashi tried to wake Naruto up, he suddenly jumped up, scaring the hell out of them. Don't do that, you idiot! Sakura screamed as she hit him on the head. My fault, Naruto said with an innocent smile on his face. It's okay then, Sakura, you can go protect Tazuna now, while these two train more, Kakashi said. Yes, sensei, Sakura said before she left. Again, if you need me, I'll be there, Kakashi said. Whatever. Naruto said getting up. After an hour, Naruto finally reached the top of his tree, while Sasuke only reached half of his. Just as Naruto was about to fall asleep, Sasuke yelled at him. "How did you end up before me?" Sasuke shouted. "Simple, you use too much chakra, while I only use it to balance mine," Naruto said. "Yes, but how do you make up for it completely?" Sasuke asked. "I really don't know, it just came naturally to me," Naruto said. "This is the last time I will ask for your advice," Sasuke said, walking towards his tree. Naruto went to sit with Kakashi, but found him asleep. Then, he had a perverse idea and pulled out a bookmark. A few minutes later, he put it away and sat down. Sasuke finally reached the top of his tree and went to look for Kakashi. When he arrived, Kakashi had a monocle, a mustache, and some makeup. Sasuke stared for a moment, taking in what he saw, before bursting out laughing. Kakashi woke up when he heard the laughter. "What's so funny?" Kakashi asked. "Go haha, look at yourself haha in the mirror haha." Sasuke laughing. There were two things in this picture. 1. Sasuke is laughing, and 2. What's wrong with my face? Kakashi thought. When Kakashi got to the mirror in the house, he didn't do anything for a few seconds except yell, "Naruto. I think you'd better run, Tobe." Sasuke said, starting to calm down. "Yes, you're right," Naruto said as he walked away down the path. Suddenly, the door of Tazuna's house was torn off, and an angry Kakashi started chasing Naruto. "Come back here, Naruto!" Kakashi shouted. "You dismembered him, sensei," Naruto said before being thrown to the ground. Sasuke was watching the scene with some interest. A second later, Naruto let out a chilling scream. Kakashi then came out from among the bushes. "What happened to Naruto?" Sasuke asked. "He'll be fine after an hour or so," Kakashi said, as he quickly walked away from the place. Sasuke hid behind a bush and saw Naruto, bloodied and unconscious on the ground. Sasuke shrugged his shoulders and started dragging him back into the house. It was 20 minutes before Naruto woke up. "Kakashi can hit very hard," Naruto said. Then Sakura and Tazuna came back. "What the hell happened to Naruto?" Sakura asked. "Naruto played a prank on Kakashi, and Kakashi started beating him brutally," Sasuke said. "Alas," Tazuna said. "By the time I got there, he was all bloody," Sasuke said. "So, what did he do?" Sakura asked curiously. "He drew on Kakashi's face while he was sleeping," Sasuke said. "Naruto, you shouldn't do that to your sensei," Sakura said. "Yeah, whatever, I'm going for a walk," Naruto said as he left the room. "Hey, puppy," Godzilla said. "What do you want, flake face?" Naruto asked. "They're following you," Godzilla said. "By whom?" Naruto asked. "Well, they're not your teammates," Godzilla said. "Probably Zabuza's little helper," Naruto said with an evil twinkle in his eye. "Yeah, why don't you have some fun before you come back?" Godzilla said meanly. "You can come out now," Naruto shouted. The person following him tensed up, but jumped out of the trees. "To whom do I owe the honor of this visit?" Naruto said eloquently. "My name is Aku, and what is your name?" Aku asked. "Naruto, at your service," Naruto said. "What an interesting name for a person," Aku said. "If it is, now what do you want?" Naruto asked. "I don't want to fight now, that will come later, but just pass this message to your sensei," Aku said. "Zabuza will be back to finish the job." Then Aku suddenly left. "Interesting," Naruto said as he was returning. "What took you so long, Tobe?" Sasuke asked as Naruto walked through the door. "Well, sensei, you were right, Zabuza is not dead," Naruto said. "I just talked to his assistant." "Great," Sasuke said in a sarcastic voice. "And what's for dinner?" Everyone sweated a drop. "Food is the only thing you think about," Sakura shouted. "Between training and banter, yes," Naruto said. This time they fell. "Well, now that everyone has reached the top of their trees, they can protect Tazuna with Sakura," Kakashi said, trying to liven up the atmosphere. Finally, Naruto said, "Dinner is ready." Tsunami said, "All right." Naruto said as he ran to the kitchen. After dinner. Well, I'll see you all in the morning, Naruto said as he entered the guest room. Hey puppy, I think you're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow, Godzilla said. Yes, I think so too, Naruto said as he fell asleep. Is there anything you want us to do and let's fight? Naruto asked. Actually yes, I want you to rip out your enemy's heart when you're done with him, Godzilla said with an evil laugh. You're sick, just sick, scale face, Naruto said horrified by Godzilla's words. Good night, puppy, Godzilla said before Naruto fell asleep. Chapter 9. So this is your bridge, Tazuna? Naruto said slightly interested. Yes, Tazuna said as she looked at the plans. How long until it's finished? Naruto asked. At this rate, 3 days, Tazuna said. Great, Naruto said before going to bed. Hey, where's the cute guy and the pinky? Tazuna asked. They're still asleep, but if my joke works, they should wake up already, Naruto said with a mocking smile. At Tazuna's house, Sasuke was dreaming of plunging a sword into his brother's head when a bucket of water hit him squarely in the face. As he got up, he tripped over a cable that tipped over a bottle of pica powder. When he got to the bathroom, a bucket of tar fell on him. The second he turned the handles, a broken pillow slammed into his back, making him look like a chicken. Once she came out of the bathroom, she saw a note on her door. He said, "This will teach you to sleep late. Your friend Kakashi." Back with Tazuna and Naruto. Sasuke's joke will be over by now, and Sakura's will be starting, Naruto said laughing. At home again. Sakura was getting up when she felt something on her futon. When he opened his eyes, he saw Sasuke sleeping next to him. Naturally, she blushed. When he tried to hug him, his arms went through him. Then he realized that it was an ingenious genjutsu. Therefore, he made the signs to release him. Of course, he disappeared, but when he came out, he saw the real Sasuke struggling to remove his feathers. Hey Sasuke, the best way to get those feathers off is with water, Sakura said. Thank you, that was all he said before hesitantly entering the room. Sasuke searched with his eyes for some hidden cable that he didn't trip the first time he entered the bathroom. She went to take a shower and slowly turned the knob from outside. Thank goodness he did, because a big sack of flour landed in the middle of the shower. Wow, Kakashi saw everything, Sasuke said looking at the flour sack. Then he proceeded to wash his feathers. After a few minutes, he got out of the shower and, seeing Kakashi, took out a shuriken. What happened to you? Kakashi asked, completely unaware of Sasuke's anger. You know what happened, sensei, Sasuke said, as his murderous intent grew like a loaf of bread. No, I don't know, Kakashi said looking at the shuriken in Sasuke's hands. Only you were able to set all those traps in the house without me noticing, Sasuke said, as he threw the shuriken at Kakashi. What are you talking about? I've been walking all morning, Kakashi said, dodging the shurikens and other dangerous objects that Sasuke threw at him. That's your dumbest excuse yet, Sasuke shouted as he threw Kakashi to the ground and started hitting him. Then Sakura came out. Sakura, help me, Kakashi said between strokes. Why should I? You deserve it for being late, Sakura said as she sat and watched. For God's sake, someone help me, Kakashi shouted, causing some trees to fly out. Tazuna and Naruto are back, again. What's wrong with all the birds? Tazuna asked as she watched the flocks move away from her house. I imagine Sasuke is beating Kakashi, and his screams scared the birds, Naruto said in a scholar's voice. I think I'm starting to like you, kid, Tazuna said as she took a bite out of her sandwich. Same here, man, Naruto said smiling. An hour later, the trio came into view. Hey man, here they come, Naruto said while laughing. What happened to you, Kakashi? Tazuna asked laughing out loud. Sasuke beat me up for setting traps in your house, which I didn't do, Kakashi shouted. Well, if I didn't do the cheating, then who did it? Sasuke said before Naruto started laughing out loud. I knew it would be good, but not that good, Naruto said, rolling on the floor. You did this. Sasuke hissed wickedly. You got it, snake boy, Naruto said. I'm going to kill you, Sasuke said, taking out a very large shuriken. Yes, I know everything already, so let's start with the chase, Naruto said as he fled. I'll bet $20 that Naruto will evade Sasuke for 5 minutes, Tazuna said. I bet 30 that Sasuke is capable of hitting him at that limit, Kakashi said. It's a done deal, they both said as they shook hands. Come back here, Tobe, Sasuke said. He is in no way afraid, Naruto said, dodging the shuriken. I have another minute before I win the bet, Kakashi, Tazuna said, smiling. Come on, Sasuke, I don't want to lose my money, Kakashi shouted, making Sasuke stop. What did you say? Sasuke asked. Nothing, Kakashi said quickly. Something about losing your money, Sasuke said. No, you heard wrong, my student. And don't you have to catch Naruto, Kakashi said, trying to change the subject. I won the bet, Kakashi, pay up, Tazuna said at the wrong time. Did you make a bet on me and Naruto? Sasuke said. Yes, Kakashi said, backing up. I should kill you, but the beating you got earlier was enough, Sasuke said. As everyone started laughing, a thick fog began to surround the bridge. Hi guys, I think he's back, Naruto said, pointing at the fog heading towards them. Why does it always appear in the fog? Of course he's the fog demon, but he's overdoing it, Naruto said. What? Zabuza shouted from the fog. You're right, Naruto, he uses it too much, Sakura said. Stop it. Let's fight at once, Zabuza said, drawing his sword. Hey, where's Aku? Naruto asked. He will be here shortly, Zabuza said as he pounced on Kakashi. You three protect Tazuna until Aku arrives, Kakashi said, throwing himself to the ground to evade the sword. Kakashi then punched Zabuza in the stomach and tripped her legs. When Zabuza got up, he was kicked 3 times in the back and the head. Zabuza launched a side slash with his sword, but Kakashi narrowly evaded it. He threw a downward cut and opened a trench in the ground. Kakashi threw some shurikens at Zabuza, but he deflected them with the sword. Kakashi then punched Zabuza in the face and kicked him between the legs. Alas, Zabuza said in a squeaky voice. Oh man, that got hurt, Naruto said. I agree with the dobe for once, Sasuke said. I don't think he'll be up for a while, Godzilla said. Yes, Naruto said. Damn you, Kakashi, Zabuza said bitterly. I was aiming at your abdomen, Kakashi said, looking down. Well, you missed something important. And where the hell is Aku? Zabuza said. With Aku? Damn, where's that bridge? I followed the map exactly, Aku said. Oops, I guess I was holding it upside down. With Zabuza, Kakashi, Tazuna, and Team 7. This is getting boring, Naruto said. Then 2 needles in Bon embedded themselves in the ground before Kakashi's feet. It's about time you showed Aku. What took you so long? Zabuza asked. Sorry, I had the map upside down, Aku said, and everyone sweated a drop. You did it again, how many times have you done this already? Zabuza said in an annoyed voice. I made a mistake. It happens to all of us, Aku said. It's okay, go fight with his students, Zabuza said as he punched Kakashi. Fine, Aku shouted as he attacked Sasuke. Aku threw 2 Bon needles at Sasuke, which he quickly dodged. Sasuke tried to hit Aku, but in doing so, he turned into water. Oh shit. A water clone, Sasuke said. I forgot what their names are. Aku appeared behind Sasuke and kicked him in the head. While Sasuke was staggering for a moment, Aku threw 2 more senbon and hit him on the right leg. Sasuke proceeded to take off the senbon, while Aku started making some hand seals. Sasuke, seeing this, ran in front of him and blocked his hand with Aku's. Let's see how you make stamps now, Sasuke said in a smug voice. It's okay, Aku said as he started making stamps with one hand. What? How do you do that? Sasuke shouts. Simply my lineage, Aku said. Oh shit. Sasuke said, trying to think of a way to counter it. The secret art of water. The 1,000 sharp needles of death. Aku screams as ice needles form in the water around him. I'm starting to hate bloodlines, Sasuke said as he jumped up to dodge the needles. Wow, I failed, Aku said sadly. Aku, you will stop playing with him and finish him, Zabuza shouted. Yes, sir, Aku said as he started with the stamps again. Great, what are you doing now? Sasuke said, annoyed. The secret art of water. Demonic ice mirrors, Aku said as Sasuke suddenly found himself surrounded by mirrors. Mirrors. Sasuke said, disappointed. They are more than enough to eliminate you, Aku said as he merged with the mirror. Something tells me this is going to hurt, Sasuke said. You're right, Aku said from the mirror. Just as Sasuke was about to say something, multiple Embens embedded themselves in his legs. Aruk! Sasuke shouted as the Senbon hit him from all sides. Do you think I should go and help him? Naruto said. Of course you should help him. Sakura said before hitting him on the head. You didn't have to hit me, you know. Naruto said as he walked towards the mirrors. Another scream erupted from inside the dome. So how am I going to get in there? Naruto wondered, mostly to himself. Why don't you try to break a mirror, puppy? Godzilla said. Fine, Naruto said as he gathered chakra in his fist. With a resounding crash, the mirror shattered into multiple pieces. How the hell did you do that, Tobe? Sasuke asked, surprised. I just gathered chakra in my fist, fear, Naruto replied. Impressive, you were the first person able to break one of my mirrors, Aku said. Thanks for the compliment, Naruto said, taking a bow. Now I must kill them both, Aku said, as he threw another volley of Senbon at them. Naruto dodged most of them, but was hit in the right shoulder. Damn it, Naruto said, dodging him more. Sasuke wasn't as lucky as Naruto. He received blows to the shoulders, arms, legs, and chest. Ah shit, now I have to defend Sasuke, Naruto said. I guess I'll take you out first, Aku said, running towards Naruto. Come down, Tobe, Sasuke said as he pushed Naruto out of the place, only to be met with bone needles in his neck. When Sasuke fell to the ground, something inside Naruto cracked. Oh, Godzilla said. Suddenly, Naruto started laughing like crazy. You just bought yourself a one-way ticket to hell, Naruto said as he began to transform into Godzilla. Aku stared at Naruto's shape-shifting, wondering what was going on. A minute later, the transformation was complete, and he emitted that characteristic roar that we all adore. What the hell is that power? Zabuza said. I don't know, Kakashi said. When the two were about to continue their fight, all of Aku's mirrors turned Aniko. When the smoke cleared, they soon saw the dragon-shaped creature in the center with a frightened Aku at its feet. Naruto looked at him for a second before hitting him with his tail, which sent him flying towards a tree. One down, one to go, Naruto said, approaching Zabuza. Naruto, Kakashi asked nervously. You guessed it, Naruto said, smiling smugly. What did you do to yourself? Kakashi asked. Think of it as my lineage, Naruto said, turning his attention to Zabuza. You have a very interesting bloodline, Zabuza said. It's a pity you'll never find out how it works, Naruto said as he charged at Zabuza. Zabuza dodged a punch, but could not avoid the tail that attacked him in the legs, causing him to stumble. Before he could get up, Naruto was already on top of him and tried to hit him with his foot. He rolled to the side and ducked. Hey puppy, give him some fireworks, Godzilla said. Yes sir, Naruto said, starting to concentrate the chakra in his mouth. What are you doing? Zabuza shouted, looking at the blue orb in his mouth. Naruto didn't say anything. He kept carrying the orb until he finally fired it. Zabuza jumped to the side just before the stream passed him. Turning around, He gasped at the sight of all the damage Naruto had caused. Wow, I missed. Naruto said. Naruto, after this you and I are going to have a chat, Kakashi said, coming out of his trance. Okay, but let me finish this. Naruto said, looking at Zabuza. Naruto started to throw another punch, but Zabuza appeared in front of him and punched him in the face. Naruto countered with a kick to the stomach and a kick to the foot. Hell, what does it take to bring you down? Zabuza said. More than anything you can do. Naruto said, throwing Zabuza to the ground. Well, I guess I should have hired someone else for the job, a dwarf said in front of a group of bandits. Cat, what are you doing here? Zabuza asked. It's not obvious, Zabuza, you're fired, Gato said. Well, then I don't have to fight with your team anymore, Kakashi, Zabuza said. Hey sensei, can I kill them? Naruto asked. Go ahead, Kakashi said, taking out his book. Thank you, Naruto said before charging his lightning bolt again. What the hell is he doing? One of the thugs asked. What are you waiting for to kill him? Said Kat. At that moment, Sasuke woke up and saw what was happening. As the thugs charged forward, Naruto fired directly at them, killing them all instantly with a fiery death. Some of the few charred bodies on the ground could be seen through the smoke. Shit, Kakashi said, looking at the burnt trail of death. Suddenly, Naruto fell to the ground unconscious. I guess he used too much energy, Kakashi said. Wow, when did the dobe become so powerful? Sasuke said. Oh, you're awake, Sasuke, and I don't know where he learned this, Kakashi said. I wonder where he thought, Sasuke said. He said it was his lineage, Kakashi said reminiscently. When they looked at Naruto again, he was back to normal. Well, let's drag him, Zabuza Yaku, back to Tezuna's house, Kakashi said, grabbing Zabuza Yaku, while Asuke grabbed Naruto. The dobe is very heavy, Sasuke said. I'm not surprised, look at all the ramen he eats, Kakashi said. Hey Sakura, will you just stand there staring open-mouthed? Sasuke shouted. I'm sorry, Sakura said, reaching out to them. The dobe has some explanations to give, Sasuke said without addressing anyone in particular. Chapter 10. Naruto's point of view. I wake up in a small room, which I guess is Tezuna's guest room. While I recover the lost strength, I get up from the ground. Then I realize that I'm lying between Aku and Zabuza. End of Naruto's pop in the next room. I wonder how long it will be before Naruto wakes up, Sakura said, trying to strike up a conversation. Suddenly, the door to the room slams shut, and Naruto, scared, runs out. He heads towards Kakashi, grabs him by the collar of his shirt, and starts shaking him vigorously. Are you crazy to put me in the same room with them? Naruto shouted while Kakashi was still shaking. Naruto. Stop shaking Kakashi so he can explain, Sakura shouted. Fine, Naruto said before lifting Kakashi a little higher before throwing him to the ground. Thank you, Sakura. I put you there because Tezuna had nowhere else, Kakashi said with a smile, laughing under the mask. Bullshit, Kakashi, he could have left me on the couch, Naruto said, punching him in the stomach. That hurts? Kakashi said, leaning forward. Where are you, Asuke? Naruto asked, looking around the room. Sasuke, he went out for a walk, Sakura said, walking away from him. Well, when's lunch? Naruto asked, making them fall. I'm going to start it, Sakura said, running towards the kitchen. With Sasuke. Stupid squirrels. Sasuke said, wiping the blood off his arm. Flashback. Sasuke was calmly walking along the path when he suddenly started picking acorns. Within minutes, I had my arms full of acorns. As he continued walking, he noticed an increase in movement in the trees. All right, who's there? Sasuke shouted. A little more noise before a large number of squirrels jumped out of the trees, whistling. Ah, of course not, these are my acorns, you stupid rodents, Sasuke said before pulling out a crib, and all the squirrels jumped at him at once. Sasuke split two in half, while another lost her head. Some squirrels got stuck to his back and started biting him. Sasuke quickly performed the Kawarimi no Jutsu, letting the squirrels chew on a piece of wood. He appeared from behind and began to make stamps with his hands. Hands before screaming. Katen. Gakaki 1 Jutsu. Creating a huge fireball, he consumed half of the squirrel army. "Do you still want my acorns, rodents?" he asked. They whistled at him again before heading for the trees, but one crouched down at the base of the tree and threw an acorn directly at his face, which also hit him in the eye. "Oh, damn rat, I'll turn you into a slipper," Sasuke shouted, throwing a shuriken at the squirrel that climbed the tree. "That's right, you better run." End of the flashback. "Try to get my acorns off," Sasuke muttered under his breath as he arrived at Tazuna's house. "What happened to you, pretty boy?" Tazuna asked. "I don't want to talk about that," Sasuke said coldly. "Hey, Fear, what's up with all those acorns and scratches?" Naruto said, trying to contain his laughter. "Yes, please enlighten us," Kakashi said, looking at the bite marks on Sasuke's arms. "Squirrels, a lot of squirrels," Sasuke said, looking at the trees. "Did the squirrels attack you?" Naruto said as laughter erupted. Sasuke then proceeded to tackle Naruto and put him in a headlock. Naruto bit Sasuke's hand, gave him a spinning kick in the stomach, and punched him in the face. Sasuke countered with a punch to the eye and a kick to the pelvis. As Naruto staggered, Sasuke grabbed him and threw him against the wall, leaving a good mark on him. Naruto then kicked Sasuke and tripped him, causing him to fall and shatter the coffee table. "It's okay, you two change before you destroy Tazuna's house, because I don't want to pay for the damage," Kakashi said, still reading his book. "Yes, sir," they said in unison. "Now, coming to the matter at hand, where did you learn to transform into that dragon?" Kakashi asked. "Oh, come on Kakashi, you know what it is," Naruto said in annoyance. "Of course it is, but I think the rest of the team should know," Kakashi said, staring at him. "What will I receive in return?" Naruto asked. "I'll buy you ramen when we get back to Konoha," Kakashi said with a sigh. "I want one more thing," Naruto said, smiling maliciously. Kakashi was visibly starting to sweat, and what would that be? "Half of your bank account," Naruto said calmly. A cricket is singing in the distance. "What?" Kakashi shouted. "You heard me," Naruto said, smiling smugly. "No way, order something else," Kakashi said coldly. "Okay, I want you to buy me a house," Naruto said with a small pout on his face. "Done deal, now tell him before he changes his mind," Kakashi said bitterly. "Hey Sakura, get in here," Naruto shouted. "What do they want?" Sakura asked through the door. "Sit down, Naruto is going to explain to you the technique he used during the fight with Zabuza," Kakashi said. "It's okay, everyone knows about the dragon that killed Kyugi," Sakura and Sasuke nodded. "Well, it's sealed inside of me. The dragon's way of the deal we made a while back. The first cricket is joined by 2 other crickets that sing in perfect union. You carry a dragon inside your stomach that gives you its power when you need it," Sasuke said. "Yeah, it's okay. It's a little annoying sometimes, but that's okay." Naruto. "Hey!" Godzilla screamed into the mindscape. Sakura, on the other hand, fainted on the spot. "I think they had a pretty good time, so what's for dinner?" Naruto asked shyly. "I think Sakura finished it before she passed out," Kakashi said. "Well, why am I as hungry as a lizard in July?" Naruto said with a Texan accent. "What did you say?" Sasuke asked, looking at him like he was crazy. "Nothing, let's go eat," Naruto said, walking into the kitchen. "I'll never understand," Sasuke said, shaking his head before eating. "Hey, did anyone check on Zabuza and Aku?" Naruto asked suddenly. Kakashi runs to the next room and discovers that they are still outside. "Hell, they sleep like stones," Kakashi muttered. "Who said that?" said Zabuza, coming to life. "It's just me," Kakashi said, backing up slowly. "How come you didn't kill us?" Zabuza asked. "We had no reason to fight with you anymore since Gato is a pile of ashes," Kakashi said. All right, I guess we'll leave now, Zabuza said, grabbing Aku and jumping out the window. See you later, Kakashi shouted at the retreating figure. This has been a strange day. What were you yelling at? Sasuke asked, which made him jump out of surprise. When did you arrive? Kakashi asked. When you shouted see you later, Sasuke said. Oh well, let's go back to eating then, Kakashi said, taking out his book. My life suddenly became more complicated, Sasuke said sadly as he walked towards the table. Chapter 11. At the Training Camp 7. Hello team, sorry for the delay, but I was attacked by a huge sparrow, and it broke my leg, Kakashi said. After leaving the hospital, I saw a cat being eaten by a sumo crab. What the hell happened here? Kakashi shouted, looking at the training ground. Shattered. All the surrounding trees had cut marks, the grass was burned to the edge of night, and Sakura and Sasuke looked terrible. However, Naruto was intact. Would anyone mind telling me what happened? Kakashi asked uneasily. Sensei, spit fire, eat men and marmots. Right, Sasuke? Naruto said, looking at Sasuke. Yes, that's right, groundhogs, Sasuke said before slouching into the fetal position. Well, I guess today's training is cancelled, Kakashi said, backing up very slowly towards the tall, untouched grass. However, as he turned around, a raptor jumped out, grabbed him, and dragged him towards the grass. Everyone just stared. After a few seconds of loud curses and a screech, a bloody pooper came out of the grass. I'm going to take a very long cold shower, Kakashi said in a depressed and cold voice, full of doom. Naruto finally spoke up. Well, that was interesting. An extinct reptile attacked our sensei. I agree, Sasuke said. So, what do you want to do now? Well, I don't know about you two, but I'll buy myself something to eat, Naruto said, heading to Ichiraku's ramen stand. It's okay if you need me, I'll be on the other side of town, Sasuke said, and ran off like a penguin chased by a leopard seal. I think I'll join him, Sakura said, going after him. Naruto quickly looked around before laughing madly. Unfortunately, a group of merchants passed by at that moment. What are they looking at? Naruto shouted, making them run like chickens. And fucking tourists. At the ramen stand. Please, 2 miso ramen, 1 pork ramen, and 1 shrimp ramen, Naruto said kindly. Of course I do, the old man said, as he poured the noodles into the boiling water. And how's your team doing? He asked. They're fine, but I gave them the fright of their life this morning, Naruto said. Flashback. Insert bad screen effects. So you finally showed up, Tobe. Sasuke said, still jealous of him. Shut up, be afraid, I'm not in the mood for you. I already had a great conversation with my roommate. Naruto growled angrily. You should consider yourself lucky to have such a powerful creature inside you. Sasuke shouted. Consider myself lucky. What a joke. Sure, you get a lot of power, but that's nothing when everyone is afraid of you, Naruto said in an ice-cold voice. And? Sasuke asked. I can stand being alone. Not when you've been alone all your life. Not when people see you as a monster, Naruto said, his hands turning into claws. Sasuke, I think you'd better stop asking questions, Sakura said tentatively, as she watched Naruto's hands change. What are you going to do? Hit me, Sasuke said before a fist hit his jaw. There stood the creature with diamond-hard scales in front of Sasuke. More blows followed. In the mental landscape. Oh shit, he lost it again, at least he won't kill them. Godzilla looking through Naruto's eyes before pulling out popcorn and a big Sprite. Let the torture begin. Naruto shouted as he charged at them. End of the flashback. You don't want to hear the details or you'll throw up, Naruto said. Okay, so here's your order, he said. Thank you. Naruto said quietly before he started to eat. An hour and 20 bowls later. Thanks for the food, man, Naruto said as he left the stall. See you tomorrow, boy, he said as he picked up the bowls. Hey, puppy, go to one of your training camps, Godzilla said. Are you going to teach me something new? Naruto asked. Of course, you idiot, Godzilla said, rolling his eyes. Well, what now? Naruto said enthusiastically. Transform yourself first, and you know how to invoke. Godzilla ordered him. Asked his tenant. Naruto simply nodded a no. Well, then come to my humble little cage, Godzilla said, cutting the mental link. In the mental landscape. What am I going to do anyway? Naruto asked, making G sigh. You're going to learn how to summon my council, and just so you know, they're my original size, so don't do it in the village, Godzilla said. Naruto just looked and then said, Kai. Then a scroll appeared before Naruto. Now bite your thumb, and write your name on it, Godzilla ordered. He did as he was told, and the blood instantly dried on the scroll. Now go back outside, gather 3/4 of your chakra, and call my second Armando, Godzilla said again. Out of the mental landscape. Kuchio Senjutsu. Naruto shouted, biting his thumb once more, and crashing to the ground. After the smoke cleared, a large creature with pointed shoulders appeared on the training ground. Chapter 12. Suddenly, a loud snore filled the field, making G giggle a little. Naruto stared at the huge creature before saying, This is your second Armando, returning to look at the sleeping giant. Yes, it must be summer in my dimension, Godzilla said, trying to hold back a giggle. Do you sleep in the summer? He asked with an inquisitive look. You see, he was created in the cold reaches of space, so he doesn't like heat, the reptile explained. If you still don't know who he is, you will soon find out his name. Interesting, but how do I wake him up? Naruto asked, not wanting to wait until winter. There are 2 ways. Light a fire near his nose and kick him in the stomach. I usually use the second one. It's more fun that way, but you can't, so the first one is the right one, said G in a storybook voice. It's okay then, Naruto said, jumping on the creature's face. Katten, Karyuenden, he said before a fire dragon flew out of his mouth towards the creature's face. A moment of silence ensues. I use them a lot, don't I? Suddenly, a huge and terrible roar filled the air. And Naruto jumped out quickly. Who the hell woke me up, and where am I? Asked the imposing creature. That would be me, Naruto said in a voice. Come down. Really? What's your name? Speak up before I crush you into oblivion, he screamed. Naruto, possessor of Godzilla, king of the kaiju, shouted Naruto, causing the creature's eyes to open in surprise. The commander would never let himself get caught. For humans, he said, narrowing his eyes in hatred. Hi Sk, how have you been? G said through a telepathic link. G, are you really into that guy? He said. Sk. I'm afraid so. You see, we are in another dimension and humans. Somehow, I was sealed in this puppy, G said, earning an oi. From Naruto. SG. He remained silent, but suddenly burst into laughter, which caused Naruto to back away. So, what do you want me to do? Said SG. Calming down. I want you to help the puppy when he calls you and tell the others to do the same, G said in rhyme. Okay, anything else? That G asked, arching an eyebrow. Not that I can imagine, said G in mentally holding his shoulders. I have a question for the blue lizard, Naruto said, causing S.G. to grow a vein in his head. What's up, puppy? SG asked, irritated by his words. What powers do you have? He asked innocently, which brought a huge smile to SG's face. You shouldn't have done that, child. Now you could lose half of your forest for this, G said with a sigh. I am the king of crystals. They appear when and where I want. I'll make one in the middle of the forest, said that G, and with a snap of his fingers, a large crystal began to grow, until it reached 30 meters of height. Great, anyone else? Naruto asked again. Don't worry, you may have seen something like that from G's perspective, said that G, charging his corona ray and shooting it into the forest, setting it on fire. Yes, I have seen it, but yours is much more destructive, Naruto said, looking at the still burning and charred forest. Yeah, well, if there's nothing else, can I go? Said that G with a yawn at the end. Of course you can leave. Sleep well, Naruto said. Remember to inform the men, G said, finally picking up the conversation. See you later, flake face, he said before making the smoke cloud gesture and walking away. And just as that G left, the rest of Team 7 showed up. Naruto, what did you do to the training camp and the forest? Kakashi asked, worried. Nothing, I'm just making some deals with another lizard, Naruto said, putting his hand on his back before walking away. You have a summoning contract, right? Kakashi said with a lazy look in his eyes. Yes, and Sasuke stopped staring at my head, Naruto said as he started walking towards his house. Sasuke then walked to the nearest tree and started banging his head against it. I'm sure that's not healthy, Sasuke, Kakashi said without looking up from his book. Stand back, Sasuke said before continuing, but he disturbed a golden eagle's nest. He quickly started running, trying to escape from the angry eagle. The eagle grabbed him by the hair and started to get up. I know what you think about an eagle lifting a person, but this one was big, about 2.5 meters. Most reach 2 meters, but that's beside the point. Someone could help me pull the eagle out of my hair, literally. Sasuke shouted while he was 30 centimeters from the ground. It's just an eagle, just kick it, Kakashi said lazily. It's an endangered species, so I can't. He shouted at his sensei, who was walking away. You'll be fine, Kakashi shouted. Damn you. He screamed before he was pulled towards the tree. So Sakura stayed there, standing in the middle of a destroyed training camp. She looked at the tree, then the way her sensei was leaving, and she looked at the tree again before saying, I think I'll go home. Later that night. Stupid bird and tree, said an angry Sasuke, coming out of the tree. Why is my life starting to get even more bad? He asked looking at the sky. Sasuke then started on his way home, but was struck by lightning, fell into a river, and was attacked by sharks. How did he escape? I don't know. Sharks are the best. As Sasuke was getting out of the river, he said, I hate my life right now. Suddenly, a dimensional portal opened a few meters away from Sasuke. Soon a man with a strange beetle armor appeared. Excuse me, are you Uchiha, Sasuke? He asked in a monotone tone. Yeah, but who the hell are you? Sasuke asked, backing up a bit. My name is Master Chief, and that's all I'm going to tell you, Mick said before punching Sasuke in the stomach, throwing him against a tree, and shooting him in both legs with a shotgun. What did I do to deserve this? He asked as a tear slid down his cheek. You were an idiot with your friends, now I have to get my money from Naruto, so I'll see you later, alligator. Mick said, running towards Naruto's house. Sasuke just sat there, with 2 huge holes in his legs, for a moment before he understood what he said. I'll kill him when my legs heal, Sasuke said, crawling to the nearest hospital. The next morning, Naruto was dreaming of using Sasuke as a punching bag, when several loud bangs on his door woke him up. I can help you, he said drowsily. Yes, I'm here for my money, Mick said. Oh Mick, I thought you wouldn't be here for a while with the whole dimension thing. Naruto suddenly woke up. Seriously, where's my $300? Mick said impatiently. Well, here you are, and it's a pleasure doing business with you, Naruto said as Mick left. If you need me again, you know what to do, Mick said as he walked through the portal. He may have lost some money, but his service is worth it, Naruto said with a demented laugh at the end, which earned him unwanted attention. That one can no longer laugh insanely to oneself. Hey Naruto, take your stuff and meet me at training 45, Kakashi said and disappeared as quickly as he appeared. What will he want now? Naruto asked as he ran out after him. Chapter 13. A few minutes later, at training camp 45, Sakura, Kakashi, and Sasuke were already at the training camp when Naruto appeared. Hey guys! Naruto called, approaching them. I'll kill you. Sasuke roared, as Akura and Kakashi struggled to contain him. Not now, Sasuke, you can kill him later, Kakashi said calmly, his face buried in the famous perverted novel. Unfortunately for the Team 7 sensei, Naruto grabbed him by the hands, ran to the other end of the training ground, and performed a katonjutsu, reducing the beloved book to a pile of ashes.